Happy gardening, everyone. Welcome to Blue Heron Hill. I'm Sue, and I'm out in this gorgeous, gorgeous spring day. Actually, it probably is more typical of a summer day because it's up into the 70s. Clear blue skies, as you can see, and no breeze, and it's hot. I'm in long sleeves because I don't have any sunscreen. I want to cover up and save myself that pain. What I wanted to do a video today on is my garden and the plans that I have for the garden. First of all, sitting right here next to me is this luscious pile of compost. Had it delivered today. I am raring to go. I'll probably be sore today after moving a lot of this. Right next to it, over there, is a huge pile of wood chips. They were trimming the branches of the trees along the road, and they were ready, willing, and able just to dump it here in my driveway. And that is going to go into most of my pathways in my garden. So I want to show you exactly what's going on. So come with me. First thing up is the greenhouse, but outside the greenhouse, I now have my green stock garden. It was actually over 100 degrees in that greenhouse a few days ago when we had another one of these warm, bright, sunny days. So had to move it outside. I think it's fine to have it outside. I'm sure the spinach did not like those warm temperatures, but I have been cutting on this spinach for days now. It is thriving. My lettuce is also doing extremely well. Right below the lettuce, you'll see here, these are radishes. And nothing's heading up yet. Nothing's forming a bulb down there, but give it another week. My green stalk planter is out of the greenhouse. Now let's take a look what's in the greenhouse. Actually, not much. I'm tempted to bring peppers out. I'm sure we're not fully into the summer months quite yet. I did bring out my rosemary here. I had some, I think this was parsley, but it got too hot in here. You can see the soil block will attest to that. I just fried those little seedlings. Oh well, I have more seeds. I have celery back here, and these are leeks, and they will probably be going out within a couple weeks anyway. But the greenhouse is bare, and it's just waiting for peppers and tomatoes. Around this side of the greenhouse, see, I had sunflowers planted here. You see, I've already gotten some compost in here and dug up. This whole area is my herb garden. This right here is some lemon balm, I think. There's a few things that I have to replace. They don't, in our climate, they don't always winter over. I have mint there in a pot. You always keep mint in a pot, unless of course you want mint to overtake absolutely everything. So here are my brassica beds. Those, if you saw the last video, they're hanging in. They aren't doing too well. I'm going to have to replace them. The Chinese cabbage is doing fine. It will come back strong, and it doesn't mind the cold weather. Here you can see some boards. I already started to deepen my raised beds. I completed these two today, taking a break and then completing this one. So with all of that compost, and if you take a look down the driveway, you can see down there at the bottom of the driveway is some topsoil. So I am going to mix topsoil and compost and raise this bed by at least 4 to 5 inches. Both this bed, and that one. Make them much deeper. I think it'll do better for my root vegetables that I plan on growing in here. The soil in raised beds always settles, and over the years, and you have to keep putting more in and raising the level back up, especially if you put in all this organic materials. I have these beds here where I had sweet potatoes, so the sweet potato vines are still in here. And as I did, I'm just tossing them over here into this bed. In my vineyard, there's all leaf litter and everything. I am going to rake all this up, put it in these beds, put topsoil in here, compost in here, and that should raise the level considerably. At least, I want at least 5 more inches, if not 6 or 7. It's going to take a lot of material, but that's what's on deck for these 3 raised beds. You can see these have dropped considerably also. I haven't decided whether I should put more in here or not. I probably, if I do, I am going to have to take out all of those little seedlings that I put in and throw in, you know, some compost and topsoil. I probably will do that. I should have thought about it before, but it shouldn't be too much of a shock, too much of a transplant shock for those little seedlings. They've already had one big shock, and now I'm probably going to give them another one. They are going to be very hardy plants at the end of this whole process. I wanted to show you what I am using to extend the depth of my raised beds. Originally, the raised beds I used 2x8s, and but with the price of wood being so high, I went with these Cedar Pickets. They're only like about $2 for a 6-foot picket. I put a stake in the corner, and I've screwed all the boards to that stake where I had to join them together. You can see here I used an old piece of that picket, or one of the parts that we had to saw off, and that joins them nice and sturdy. I think the soil will press out on the walls nicely and form a pretty secure upper part of the raised bed. That's why I put the stakes on the inside of the raised bed. So use these cedar pickets. Cedar is very rot resistant, or it lasts for a very long time in the garden, and it's very inexpensive. Now we're looking at the main garden, and it's all tarped, at least most of it's tarped over. And there's a large pile of an old straw bale that I put in here over the winter. This tarp is going to kill off some of the weed seeds, hopefully, and I will top dress them with a lot of compost. I am going to dig up these pathways. It has old wood chips down here. I'm going to take those wood chips, put them over into the adjacent beds, and then put from that fresh pile of wood chips, I'm going to reline my footpaths. So I've got lots and lots to do. Let's take a look down here at the garden area that I call the annex, because it was add-on to my main garden. I thought of raising the level of these beds, but I may do that in the fall and put all sorts of homemade compost and chicken litter and things like that in these and raise the level of those, because I would like to switch these beds into more root crops. Like here's my garlic, and I want to probably bring carrots over into this area, carrots and turnips and things like that. So it needs a deeper root structure. And I've got my raspberries here. It's kind of weedy in here, so what I'm going to do is put cardboard down between the canes, wet it all down, scoop up all of these wood chips along the path here, put them on top of there, and put new fresh wood chips in the pathways and on top of the raspberry rows. I've got a raspberry row here. It's really thin through here. A lot of grass is coming in, so this needs to be choked off, and I'm going to use cardboard for that. So I have a lot of work to do. So those are my plans for my garden this year. And I have a few weeks to go before my last frost date. And so I'm going to have a lot to do. And of course that doesn't even count my flower beds, which I don't have very many. I don't really concentrate heavily on flowers, but more on the vegetable side, things that I can eat. But I do have a lot of perennials that keep coming back, and they'll get a douse of this lovely compost also. So what are you doing to refresh and rejuvenate your beds this year? If you have a good source for compost, I know I make a lot of my own, but I just didn't have enough this year. So I ordered some from a local guy. I didn't get it last year. He ran out before I was able to, I should have called him earlier. But I have been ordering from him for a number of years. So what are you doing? Comment down below. Let me know. Give me some tips if I'm missing something here. If you haven't already, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content, and pass it along to anybody that might be of interest. So until the next time that we can go digging in the dirt, oh, happy gardening. Bye.